We are pleased right now to be joined on site to kick off our spring training coverage by the president of baseball operations for the Nationals, Mike Rizzo. Mike, it is great to see you again.
Welcome to West Palm Beach.
We are happy to be here. It's a long time coming. You know, it's tough sitting back in the cold, watching the games, scrolling box scores. But you guys have been working hard, getting a lot done.
We have gotten a lot done. It's been a really busy spring training, backfields into mornings and game times. And we've had a couple of split doubleheaders already. So, we've been busy.
What's impressed you so far this spring from the guys?
Well, it's just, the kind of camaraderie that they've made already. The feel of the clubhouse is great. The veterans have kind of seamlessly came in and have kind of made their mark so far early in spring training. And, the young core guys who've been together in the minors that are kind of ascending to the big leagues at the same time. They've got a good feel for the good group. And I see guys, working hard with a smile and going through their paces and getting ready for the season.
Mike, I've been talking to you for years, spring training and over the air during the season, and the message is kind of always the same. Like, you don't really think of it as you guys are rebuilding or not in the mode of winning, right? But the last couple of years, you guys have been trying to build up the system, and occasionally that means still trading pieces off. Back-to-back years at 71 wins. Although last year, I think you guys would have won more than that had you retained the roster. You made some growth. Where do you see this team this year? Is this now a club that can get over that 500 hump and really compete, or where do you see you in the build?
Well, we're going to compete each and every game. We've got a tough division that we're going to grind it out against some really good teams. But, people, the teams we play, they know when we've played them. And I think that showed up last year. We had some success against the Braves and played some close games against the Phillies and the Mets and the rest of the tough National League. So, they know we're coming. We think that we can compete against anybody, and we're just going to grind it out and play every day. The most important game is today's, and we want to win today's game, and at the end of the season we'll see where we're at. We'll let the chips fall where they may, but we're here to compete and win every game.
One of the guys that I think a lot of Nats fans are excited to see this year is Dylan Cruz, obviously. How important was it to get him that cup of coffee in the bigs last year so that he's able to come in with a little better understanding? He's gone through at least a little bit of a big league season and has seen the pitching at that level.
I think it's important. You hate to rush a player to the big leagues for the wrong reasons, but for the right reasons. We got him some time last year at the big league level, and we thought he belonged. We see this year that he's going to be a good player for us for a long time, and I think getting his feet wet with some of his old teammates, Woods and Abrams and that group, I think was important, and I think it builds a bond between those guys who come up together and kind of hang together and build that camaraderie in the clubhouse and on the field.
Cruz, a College World Series champion at LSU, the number 2 pick in 2023, not even 2 years removed, and here he is with big league experience, about to spend a full year in the major leagues. Mike Rizzo, the president of baseball operations of the Nats, is with us. Going into the offseason, before it started, what were your goals? What did you think you might be able to accomplish? And how many of those things did you get to check off the list?
We thought we'd had a pretty good offseason. You know what I mean? We wanted to come in and we looked at what happened last year, and we were really encouraged about our young pitching, and I think that part of the young pitching is also young defense, and we played poorly defensively last year, I thought. So we wanted to shore up that end of the game. So defensively, we went out and got a Gold Glover at first base, which we think will help all our young infielders. Paul DeYoung, I think, is going to be a solid add for us defensively at third base. I think he's a guy that you can count on to catch the ball and make plays and that type of thing. And then to go along with a year under their belt with all 3 outfielders, I think you're going to see a dynamic defensive outfield, with Wood, Young, Gray, Alex Call, and then you got Hassel behind him, and Pinckney, and Dylan Lyle. So we're pretty flush with good athletic defensive outfielders. CJ, the first half, CJ Abrams, that's the defensive guy we need at shortstop. Louis made a big jump defensively last year, and we see that's getting a little bit better even from what he was last year. So I think that we went out and shored up the defense. We got two veteran middle of the lineup guys in Lowe and Josh Bell. We think he'll take a little onus off the young hitters and take a little weight off their shoulders to get some veteran guys in the middle of the lineup and kind of attack the bullpen with some good power arms that we think that can control the back end of the game.
And it seems like to me you'd have to be excited about flipping a reliever, even a good one, in Robert Garcia out west to get a everyday first baseman Nathaniel Lowe. That does not happen very often. It seems like Michael Soroka is off to a great start. Could be a flyer that ends up netting you a strong reward. But was that kind of the philosophy? Like, let's get creative here, or were there other guys that you tried to make a push for in terms of the big money? Because I'll just say for me personally, I thought this was an off season where maybe you guys start spending even more than you did. Baseball Ops does a really good job of filling this roster out. But are we still a year away from that, or is that a case-by-case thing?
I think that's an organic thing. Everyone mentions the Worth thing. Well, the Worth thing happened organically. He was a guy that we felt at that time we needed to learn how to win. We needed a veteran presence in the clubhouse, and we went out and got ourselves a really good player that filled a lot of voids that we needed to fill on the roster. This year we saw we took a look at the whole landscape and where we're at in the rebuild, if you will, to become a championship caliber club again. The draft pick was important for us. The second round pick and the international money is where we think we're going to make our hay and grow. And so it was going to take a special fit for us to go after that type of player, pay top dollar for him, and to give up a draft pick and international money. So none of those players that we went after kind of filled all those voids for us. And we decided to go at first base. We went with a guy that's a 27-year-old, 28-year-old guy with a Silver Slugger, a Gold Glove, and a World Championship. So we felt that that was a better choice for us in this year than going out and getting a guy that costs a lot of money, multi-years, and a draft pick and some international money. So that was a decision that we discussed and we made, and we think that we like where it ended up at the end of the winter.
The big addition this year in the rotation, Mike Soroka. Last year he kind of struggled as a starter, did well out of the pen. What did you guys see that made you think he can be a starter? And obviously in spring training he looked fantastic.
Well, spring training. I'll always remind everybody, but he's got good stuff. He's got great stuff, and the thing that most impressed me about him was when we met with him, he's a big time competitor, man. He really gets after it. And we remember him. I remember in his Brave days, did all the research on him when he was with the White Sox, in a really tough situation where he got relegated to the bullpen, took it like a man, and kind of reworked his stuff, his delivery, and his pitch arsenal, and had a really strong finish. And when we talked to him, he was so passionate about being with us because we were going to allow him the opportunity to be a starter. He had a lot of opportunities to go to a lot of different places as a back end reliever, and we allowed him to, they trusted us enough to come with us with the promise that he's going to get every opportunity to start. So we're going to do that, and we hope that the stuff continues and he pounds the strike zone and he gets after it like he's been getting after it since the day he walked in here. 9
strikeouts, 1 walk in his 7 spring innings. I know, just spring training. You can tell Mike's like, yeah, that's nice. Let's see what he does in April. Mike Rizzo on Grant and Danny here on your flagship home for the Nats, 106.7 The Fan. Staying in the rotation for a second. Seems like it's a 2-horse race for the 5th starter job. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Hers and Parker possibly. The other 4 seem pretty entrenched. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think the 4 seem entrenched. I think it's I look at it as a three-man competition. Parker, Hers, and Sheeno. I think they all have good stuff. They pitch differently, but I think they're all going to help us, throughout this year. But we'll see who's there opening day and who's not. But it's a good competition between 3 really talented left-handed pitchers, and we always talk about the depth. It gives us depth that we've never had before. You go with those 7 starters, and we've got guys behind them that are ready to make the jump and impact the team also.
Power's been something that this team has kind of struggled with the last couple of years. You added some power bats. DeYoung's hit a lot of home runs in his career. Josh Bell as well. Do you feel like you guys have improved that enough that you're happy with that now?
Yeah, we think that, with the couple of the additions we make, JB can hit some home runs, as can Lowe, as can DeYoung. But, we think that our young core guys are going to facilitate some power also. So, we feel good about the ability to score runs, be it home runs or just be offensively efficient. But I think that with the young core taking the next step offensively, you add those, 3 or 4 veteran bats. I think that we have improved ourselves.
Do you feel like last year you guys were really aggressive on the base paths? Is that something you want to continue to do? Obviously, sometimes running into outs was a bit of a problem, but I thought overall you guys were really aggressive stealing bags. Is that
most steals in baseball, 223 last year?
Is that something that you want to continue to be?
Yeah, I think we have to be patiently aggressive. I mean, we have to go first to third, second to home. We have to, balls in the dirt. We have to take the extra 90 feet, stealing bases. I think that's part of our DNA. Davey likes to manage that way. We've got the skill set of the players on the roster to do so. So I think that for us to go away from that part of our offense would be silly. We have to be smarter to do it. Smarter though, in the way we do it. If we limit teams to 27 outs and we don't make outs on silly outs on the bases, I think that's going to just add to the way we compete and the way we win games.
Number 1 in the sport in steals last year, and in caught stealing. When you run, that happens, but 73, obviously way too many times getting thrown out on base for Mike Rizzo's liking. We mentioned the power, trying to build on 135 homers as a team last year. A guy that can both run and hit, James Wood. It just feels like the possibilities for him are limitless. And maybe it's not this year in his first full year in the majors, but what have you seen from him this spring? I mean, he seems like the guy that's going to put some butts in seats this year and really give people something to watch.
Yeah, he's a special player. He's got a full tool bag, and he can hit, and he can hit with power, and he's working so hard on making the adjustment to left field. On defense, he runs the bases well, aggressively and smartly, and he's going to be a fixture in the middle of the lineup for years to come. And when you look at the exciting guys that we have, they're all young kids, 24. We got Garcia and Abrams and Cruz and Young and Wood. They're all young, 24 or less, and just scratching the surface, I think, of what they can do as big leaguers.
Mike, we're looking forward to a few days of baseball ahead.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure.
Mike Rizzo, President Baseball Ops with the Nationals on Grant and Danny.